So good afternoon, all of you. So we will discuss bony pelvis today. So if you have the hip bones with you and the bony pelvis, it will be more better. Okay, if you have, just take time just and see that you are with your bones. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, beta. So let us see this slide. Let's take time and let us try to understand everything from this bony pelvis very clearly. Okay. So because now after this class, the next class I will be taking will be pelvic diaphragm tomorrow. So we should know thoroughly what are the structures here. Okay. So how is the bony pelvis formed? It is formed by three bones, isn't it? One is you are finding right hip bone, left hip bone, and you are finding sacrum and then coccyx. Okay. So when you just talk about the hip bone, we know the hip bone has three components: the ilium, ischium, and pubis. Isn't it? Ilium, ischium, and pubis. Now, when you talk about this ilium bone also, this particular area of the ilium bone is iliac crest, isn't it? The iliac crest has further like names. What are those? See, it has outer lip of the iliac crest, inner lip of the iliac crest, isn't it? This is the intermediate area. Then this is anterior superior iliac spine, anterior inferior iliac spine. Behind you will have posterior superior iliac spine. Just below, of course, it's not visible now. I'll show from other view. We also have posterior inferior iliac spine. Okay. So this is iliac fossa. From the other side, if you see, if you remember, we have gluteal lines between which the gluteal muscles will be originating. Okay. So this is a short review of ilium bone. Okay. Then this bone, whatever we are finding is pubis. In the pubis bone, we have many features. Actually, we have, this is the ramus of pubis. Okay. This is the superior ramus and this is inferior ramus and this is the body of pubis. The ramus of pubis is like, see, this is the ramus of the pubis. It is now getting connected with the ramus of ischium to form ischiopubic ramus. This whole area where I'm scrolling the arrow is ischiopubic ramus. Oh, I'm sorry. See, this is the ischiopubic ramus. This is the ramus of pubis. This is the ramus of ischium. This is ischial tuberosity. This is the ischiopubic ramus. What is this hole? What is this big opening? What is this big foramen? Forgot?
Obturator foramen.
Very good. Very good. Obturator foramen. Okay. Then here we have the pubic crest. Okay. Pubic crest, pubic tubercle. From the anterior superior iliac spine to the pubic tubercle, there is one ligament, no? What is the name of the ligament we have seen in the
Inguinal. Sorry, inguinal ligament.
Anteriorly, no, beta. This is anterior aspect. So this is inguinal ligament. Okay. No. See, what is the name of, see, this is body of pubis, superior ramus, inferior ramus of pubis. This is ischium and this is a ramus of ischium. So, ramus of pubis and ramus of ischium together, what do we call it as? Ischiopubic ramus. What is this bone? Ischial tuberosity. Okay, and this is the body of pubis. This is also the body of pubis. The body of pubis of right and left side, they are articulating in the middle. Okay, and what is the name of this area?
Pubic symphysis.
Pubic symphysis. Okay, now nice, very good. Now see here, there is one area like this round structure we have here. This is actually called as pelvic brim. Overall, when you look at this pelvic cavity, it looks like a wash basin, no? Like where we wash our hands and all. It looks like a wash basin. So in this wash basin, if you observe, the area above this pelvic brim, while I was discussing perineum and all, I told you the area above this pelvic brim is actually called as true pelvis or? Okay, very good. Very good. False pelvis. And area below the pelvic brim, if you take the arrow downwards towards outside, which pelvis is that?
Greater or true?
Ha. Okay, the true pelvis. Why is it called as true pelvis? Area below pelvic brim. I gave you the reason also. The head of the baby has to pass out the lower pelvis, true pelvis, and also we will see the visceral organs. What are those? Urinary bladder. Behind that in females uterus. Behind that you see rectum anal canal. Below this pelvic brim. That's why the area below is true pelvis and the area above the pelvic brim is the false pelvis. Okay. Now what is this bone we have here? Sacrum. What is the name of this bony elevation here?
Promontory.
Yeah, sacral promontory. Sacral promontory. Okay. Now actually when we draw this line, we have to take in consideration this only. Okay. Now this is ilium bone and we know this is pubic bone. The joining point of this ilium and pubis, this is iliopubic eminence. Ilium and the superior ramus of pubis will become continuous. Okay, actually this area continuation you call it as iliopubic eminence. Iliopubic eminence. Okay, iliopubic eminence. Now let us see the further features. When you hold this hip bone in your hand, you should see that the anterior superior iliac spine is, now when you hold it in such a way like the symphysis pubis, they should lie in the same plane. They should lie in the same plane. Okay. That is the anatomical position. Anatomical. When you hold the bone, you should see the anterior superior iliac spine and I'll just get the bone once. See, all of you, can you see the bone in my hand? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you see this bone, you see this is the, which bone is this? Hip bone. And what I am holding is left hip bone. So how to identify? The thin bone is anterior, that is pubis. Thick bone comparatively, it should come behind. This is comparatively thin. Okay. And this is upper expanded part, which is nothing but the ilium. So this whole part is the iliac crest. You should see like when you hold the bone, I'm telling you this and this should be in the same line, like this. What is the name of this projection? Anterior superior iliac spine. What is the name of this projection? Like you will get one more bone here, no? Which articulates here. Pubic symphysis. They should be, when you just explain the examiner, you should see like they lie in the same plane. Okay. Then what is the name of this big opening here?
Obturator.
Obturator foramen. What is the name of this cavity here?
Acetabulum.
Acetabulum. Acetabulum. What comes and articulates in the acetabulum?
Hippo.
Femur.
Femur.
Sorry, femur.
Head of the femur. What joint is formed? Hip.
Acromion.
Hip joint.
Hip joint.
Acromion is here in the upper limb, beta. This is hip joint.
Yes,
Ball and
ma'am.
socket. Ball and socket variety of hip joint. Okay. When you see from behind, what is the name of this big notch you are seeing here?
Sciatic notch. Greater.
Greater sciatic notch. Very good. What is this projection? Yesterday also we discussed ischial
Lesser
spine.
sciatic notch.
Sciatic
Below
notch.
this is lesser sciatic notch. Okay, that means I am keeping my two fingers here. One is the greater sciatic notch and the other is the lesser sciatic notch. In between the projection is ischial spine.
Ischial spine.
Ischial spine. Okay. So I actually don't have that whole pelvis with me. Only hip bone is available. In colleges also it's very difficult. We will have one or two. Okay. So that is the reason even I don't have. Now, overall, what is the function of this pelvis? It is transmitting the weight in standing position. It is giving protection to the organs. In females, we know like it is holding the fetus also, and it provides attachment to the muscles. These muscle attachments we will learn tomorrow. What muscles are attached here? Especially when we talk about the pelvic diaphragm, levator ani. Okay. We will also try to check once the pelvis is in our hand whether it belongs to male or female. I'll give you some easy points also how to identify when both are there. Okay. Now, see here. Are you able to see the pictures now? See, are you finding this round line, which is called as pelvic brim? Now, let us see how to draw this pelvic brim. See, what is this point? I told you sacral promontory, isn't it? Sacral promontory. Do you remember I told you this as iliopubic eminence? Iliopubic eminence. Then we know this point, that is the pubic symphysis. Okay, you continue from here also. You have sacral promontory, then iliopubic eminence, and then come back to the posterior aspect of pubic symphysis. If you draw one line completely like this, so this whole thing is actually called as pelvic brim. Okay, pelvic brim. So the area above the pelvic brim is false pelvis. Okay, and the area below this pelvic brim is true pelvis. Okay, the false pelvis is also called as greater pelvis, and true pelvis is also called as lesser pelvis. False pelvis is called as greater pelvis because the area is surface area is more, no? And the lower one, the true pelvis, is lesser pelvis. Okay, and this particular point is pelvic outlet. Okay, pelvic outlet. Now we will see so certain diameters. What are these? First of all, interspinous diameter. What is this interspinous diameter? You remember I told you this is spine, ischial spine. What is this? Of course, this is all pelvic brim, beta. Okay. What is this projection? What is the name of this projection we have?
Ischial spine.
Ischial spine.
Ischial
Okay.
spine.
When you measure the diameter between the two ischial spines. Okay. Just so you call it as interspinous diameter, which is 25. See then, sorry, actually this is interspinous is this anterior superior iliac spines. Anterior superior iliac spines is the interspinous. Okay, what is this whole area called as?
Hip bone.
No.
Crest.
Iliac crest.
Iliac
Iliac
crest.
crest. So iliac crest, no? So there the diameter is intercristal diameter. So when you measure
Ma'am, can you say what is interspinous diameter once again?
between this anterior iliac spine of right side and anterior iliac spine of left side, whatever diameter.
It's not
we
between the ischial spines, ma'am.
No. This now we are talking about greater pelvis, not lesser pelvis.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry, it is not greater pelvis. No, I didn't notice that. Okay, so now we are talking about this pelvis, greater pelvis. So you are taking measurements here. Okay, what is this? Anterior superior iliac spine. You take a scale and measure it. How much it will be? Interspinous diameter? 25 centimeters. Okay, then what is this whole thing?
Iliac crest.
Iliac crest. You remember we also have iliac tubercle, like 5 centimeters behind. So just there if you measure, so overall at the iliac crest if you just measure, how much it will be? That is intercristal diameter will be 26 centimeters. Okay, 26 centimeters. So that is about the dimensions at greater pelvis. So anything is left over. Now see, this is pelvic brim. I told you pelvic inlet, pelvic outlet, true and false pelvis. Okay. Now see here, axis of pelvic inlet. Which is the pelvic inlet? See, this is the one which is moving. This is the pelvic inlet, and the one which is outside from where the head of the baby comes out is the pelvic outlet. Okay, when you are holding the pelvis in your hand, now you should check the axis. Okay, pelvic inlet, that arrow, so it will be upwards and forwards. Okay, and you should start tracing it through umbilicus. Okay, so that means it is running. Actually, I don't have pelvis in my hand. See, this is right hip bone. Okay, and this is the iliopubic eminence. iliopubic eminence. This particular point we will get is the sacral promontory. This will be the iliopubic eminence. Okay, now see here, I'm just trying to put one arrow like this with the help of this pen to just show the angulation of this pelvic inlet. So it will be like upwards and forwards above, then when it is coming downwards, it is downwards and backwards like this. Okay, that means when you are just checking at umbilicus, it will be upwards and forwards like this, upwards and forwards. When you are coming down till the coccyx, it is downwards and backwards. Okay, that is angulation. When you have this pelvis in your hand, you'll be able to make out. Okay, now let us see the measurements. So what are the various measurements we have? See here, we are first checking the all greater pelvis, we are checking, not lesser pelvis now. We are taking the measurements. See, there is antero-posterior diameter, where I am scrolling the arrow. This particular dimension, whatever you are finding, is antero-posterior diameter. So antero-posterior diameter is moving from sacral promontory to pubic symphysis. Okay, so how much it is measuring? 10 centimeters. Okay, from, see, this is sacral promontory and this is pubic symphysis, isn't it? So this diameter, all these diameters are actually very, very important when you are doing female pelvis in obstetrics. We should know all normal dimensions, antero, posterior, oblique, transverse dimensions. Because if these dimensions are normal, then only we can go with normal delivery. If any of the dimension is less, that means the pelvis is narrowed antero-posteriorly or obliquely, especially we see in polio cases. I'll show you when we are doing applied aspects of pelvis now. Okay, that's why dimensions are important. If dimensions are reduced, then we should never suggest the lady to go for normal delivery, and in fact we have to go for elective cesarean section. Okay, elective cesarean section. Once she enters into her 32 weeks are over, 34 weeks. Normal delivery, the normal gestational period is 36 weeks. So once she is completing her 32 weeks, we should check with scanning if everything is normal. Okay, then we have to go for elective cesarean section. That's the reason we are checking for all these dimensions. Okay, one is antero-posterior, which is moving from the sacral promontory to pubic symphysis, measuring around 10 centimeters. Then we have oblique. Oblique dimension, what is the name of this joint? Sacroiliac joint, isn't it? And I have been telling you this is the iliopubic eminence. I can show you. This is the iliopubic eminence. Okay, this is the ilium bone and this is the pubis bone. And the meeting point of this, where I am scrolling my finger, okay, this is nothing but iliopubic eminence. That means you are moving from, suppose right sacroiliac joint, you have to go up to left iliopubic eminence, not the same bone, isn't it? Left sacroiliac joint to the right iliopubic eminence. How much it will be measuring? Normally 12 centimeters. Okay, then now you see transverse diameter. So transverse diameter you are checking at the midpoint of the iliopubic eminence. Okay, like this. If you just move like this. Okay, so this is transverse diameter. So all these dimensions we have taken at which pelvis?
Greater pelvis.
Greater pelvis. Which is the greater pelvis? I told you above this
False.
pelvic brim. Yeah, false pelvis. Whatever we have above this pelvic brim is nothing but the greater pelvis, also called as the false pelvis. Okay, so we are checking
Ma'am,
all.
can you repeat oblique diameter once again, please?
Which one, beta?
Oblique diameter.
Oblique. It's written here, beta. You see, from the sacroiliac joint of right side. This is right side. Okay. From the sacroiliac joint of right side to the iliopubic eminence of left side. From the sacroiliac joint of left side to the iliopubic eminence of right side.
Ma'am, isn't that ischiopubic eminence? Or which is that?
No, ilio, beta. This is ilium bone. This is pubic bone. So
Okay.
it is iliopubic eminence. Ischium is behind. पीछे
Okay,
when
okay, yes.
पीछे है ना बेटा iliopubic eminence.
Okay.
It's written
Yes,
also, no beta. It's written
Yes,
here.
ma'am. Got it now. I got it
Ah,
now, ma'am.
okay. So sacroiliac joint to the iliopubic eminence. Got transfers also you got?
Yes, ma'am. I got it.
Midpoint of right iliopubic eminence to midpoint of left iliopubic eminence, it is 12.5 centimeters. So we have
Yes,
seen dimensions of the greater pelvis now. Okay. Now, so after that you see this is the pelvic cavity. That means the inlet is like this plane. What is this bone? You tell me. Lumbar vertebra. L4.
Sacral number.
हाँ ये लंबार है बेटा L4 L5 ये पूरा सेक्रम है यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक सेक्रम and the lower one is coccyx.
Coccyx.
है ना? So you see that means so if you just draw that means this is anterior aspect of the that means this is the sagittal section you are taking the body cavity. So this is the anterior aspect where we have pubic symphysis, behind we have the sacrum and coccyx. So now you see the inlet. You should always imagine as though the head of the baby has to move like this. Okay, this is the plane of inlet. This is the axis of cavity downwards. Then you are finding it is making a curve, and this is the plane of outlet. So this is the axis and formation. Now see here, now we are taking the dimensions at the pelvic inlet. Okay, that means what is this whole thing is the pelvic brim. No?
Inlet. Brim.
This whole round thing is the pelvic brim. Okay, now we have already we have finished the dimensions of which pelvis?
Greater pelvis.
Greater pelvis. Now let us see the dimensions of lesser pelvis. Okay, now let us see, we are taking first antero-posterior diameter. Initially when you have taken with the greater pelvis, you have started with the sacral promontory to the pubic symphysis, isn't it? Now you have come to the lesser pelvis, that is the true pelvis now you have come with, isn't it? So are you coming in the center of this sacrum bone? S1, S2, S3, isn't it? That means you should start measuring from S3 and then you have to come up to the midpoint of pubic symphysis. If you consider this whole as pubic symphysis, the posterior aspect but not anterior one, behind the middle part of the pubic symphysis, if you draw one line, what diameter is this? True pelvis or lesser pelvis? Antero-posterior diameter, isn't it? Antero-posterior diameter. How much it should measure normally?
13.
13 centimeters. We know the name of this plane, no beta? Sacroiliac
Sacroiliac spine.
joint.
Sacroiliac joint. Joint one.
Sacroiliac joint. But the lower part of the sacroiliac joint, are you finding there is one notch here? What is the name of this notch in the hip bone?
Greater sciatic notch.
Greater sciatic notch. Okay, that means this till this point you had the sacroiliac joint and below you have the greater sciatic notch. Okay, so from there you have started taking like measuring it. And you are coming up to, what is the name of this bone I told you?
Pubic symphysis.
Body of pubis, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which one, ma'am?
Just a minute, but I lost that. Time is running out. This is the problem with Zoom. Just a minute, but.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but I got it. So this is body of pubis. This is the superior ramus and this is the inferior ramus. Okay, in the body of pubis also I told you this is pubic tubercle. The sharp part is the pubic tubercle. So you are drawing one line, the oblique dimension you are taking now. From the greater sciatic notch of right side to the pubic tubercle of the left side. Similarly, what is this notch? Greater sciatic notch of left side to the pubic tubercle of right side. So this dimension, both the sides we will have dimensions, but for our convenience, only one side is shown. So how much is this?
13.1.
13.1. Okay, so this is oblique diameter. Ritika, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now after that, now already transverse diameter was, I told you, iliopubic eminence, but now you should go lower down because this pelvic brim is the part. Above pelvic brim, you have the dimensions for greater pelvis. Below pelvic brim, we will have the dimensions for lesser pelvis. Okay, what is the name of this eminence we have told? Iliopubic eminence. इलियो बेटा, ये इलियम बोन है, ये प्यूबिक बोन है ना, इलियम बोन एंड प्यूबिक बोन. सो ये एमिनेंस का नाम क्या है? उठा हुआ, जो भी उठा हुआ है, इलियो प्यूबिक, ये वाला. तो थोड़ा नीचे जाना है.
हाँ ठीक है मैम.
ओके, so if you measure it from right side to left side, what is the name of this dimension? Transverse diameter. Transverse diameter. How much is the transverse diameter? 12.5 centimeter. So now you have seen dimensions in true pelvis also, or lesser pelvis. Okay, we have seen antero-posterior diameter, we have seen oblique diameter, and we have seen transverse diameter also. Dimensions are very, very important, and this will be asked in your viva. Okay, see here, but we are taking measurements in 3 planes. One measurement you have seen at the greater pelvis, no? Isn't it? Interspinous diameter you have seen, intercristal diameter you have seen, antero-posterior diameter, oblique diameter, and transverse diameter we have seen. That was at the pelvic inlet, isn't it? Then we have seen in the pelvic cavity also we have seen antero-posterior, oblique, and transverse. Now you are tilting the pelvis and seeing from down. Okay? ये pelvis को ऐसा नीचे से देख रहे हो. So now try to understand. This is the pelvic outlet. This is the outlet through which head of the baby is supposed to come out. Of course, this pelvic outlet idea you have because we have finished the perineum. Okay.
Yes.
So this is the anterior aspect. What is this bone and what is this bone?
Body of pubis.
Meghana, what is the meeting point of two sides called as? Body of pubis of right side and body of pubis of left side. This is exactly the, you can see the articular surface also here. This is the body of pubis. Very good. Pubic symphysis. Okay. Pubic symphysis. Okay, fine. Very good. What is this bony elevation? What is this big rounded where we are sitting and taking support?
Ischial tuberosity.
Yeah, we are sitting on our ischial tuberosities only. Okay. So
Ma'am, can you show it in the bone in the hand once?
Yes, better, sure, definitely. See here, this is the anatomical position. Ilium, pubis, behind is ischium, piche. Okay, and you are finding this bone is comparatively little tough, big, stout. When you see anterior bone, it is thin. When you see posterior bone, it is stout, thick. Okay, so this two thick elevations are nothing but two ischial tuberosities. Okay. What is this bone then? ये पीछे की कौन सी? Sacrum.
Sacrum and coccyx.
Very good. Sacrum, and the tip of the sacrum is articulating with the coccyx. So this green line, whatever is shown here, is all pelvic outlet. Okay. So in this pelvic outlet also, again we should check dimensions, isn't it?
Ma'am, I could not hear you. The network problem, ma'am. The last 2 points you said, I couldn't hear you.
Everybody has this problem, beta. My voice.
No, ma'am.
Okay, beta. See, I am repeating. This is pelvic outlet. So in the pelvic outlet, you are seeing pubic symphysis. Okay. This is sacrum, coccyx, two ischial tuberosities. So whatever green line is there, this is completely pelvic outlet. What is this? Pelvic outlet. So this pelvic outlet, now here also we should take measurements. So what may be the measurement from pubic symphysis to coccyx? Lokesh, what is the name of this measurement? You should be. Ayyo beta, mundu nunchi welcome.
Antero-posterior.
सामने से पीछे आ रहे, आगे से पीछे आ रहे ना. हाँ, हेमलता इज राइट.
No,
Diagonal.
anterior posterior.
सही ना बेटा, आगे से पीछे आ रहे आप, है ना.
Anterior
Diagonal
posterior.
नहीं बोलेंगे.
एंटीरो पोस्टीरियर है बेटा, ये वाला.
Okay.
ये फ्रंट है एंटीरियर, ये पीछे है पोस्टीरियर. यहाँ से आप यहाँ मेजर कर रहे हैं. So what do you call it as? Antero posterior. Suppose if you, Meghana, you tell me, suppose if you are joining two ischial tuberosities, what is the name of this diameter? Meghana is with us, right? Yeah, everybody. Chavi, you are always keeping quiet, not interacting. Simple beta, it's running like this. Lokesh,
Transverse.
Transverse, ma'am.
transverse diameter, very good. Suppose if you are taking dimension from ischiopubic ramus of right side to the sacrotuberous ligament of left side, the diameter is running. Yes, very good, Abhinav. Oblique diameter. So how many diameters we have? 6. Okay, like 5. Oh, this is one antero-posterior, then oblique, and then we have transverse diameter. Okay, so antero-posterior, like you just told me, this is the pelvic outlet. So we started measuring from the lower point of the pubic symphysis. Symphysis pubis or pubic symphysis, up to you. Lower part of the pubic symphysis to the tip of the coccyx, you have started measuring. Okay, so what is the name of this diameter? Ansraj? Antero-posterior diameter. Okay, that is 12.5 centimeters. This is one ischial tuberosity. This is another ischial tuberosity. So what is the name of this diameter?
Transverse.
Transverse diameter, 8.5 centimeters to 11.8. It differs from person to person. This is the range. Then we also have oblique. Of course, line is not shown, but it is moving from the ischiopubic ramus of right side to the middle of the sacrotuberous ligament of the left side. Ischiopubic ramus of the left side to the middle of the sacrotuberous ligament of the right side. Okay, that is how much it is.
Ma'am, these are measurements of what? Of pelvic outlet, right?
Outlet. Pelvic
The previous one we saw? That was?
This is outlet.
Great.
Okay, the previous
No,
one
ma'am.
is the pelvic cavity.
Oh, okay.
One we are taking at pelvic inlet dimension, one we are taking at the cavity, one we are taking at the outlet. In 3
Okay.
different planes, we have to take the measurements. This we will take with the help of sonography, ultrasound. Okay, if you have ever observed any of your relatives who is pregnant, the sonography, generally all pelvic dimensions will be written there. Okay, at the inlet we will have dimensions, in the cavity we will have dimensions, at the outlet we will have dimensions. Your sister or your brother's wife or somewhere. You should keep checking better now, because you are future doctors now. Okay. So like that. So all these dimensions are very, very important. Why are they important? These are normal dimensions. If these dimensions are less, instead of 12.5, suppose if the dimension is only 10 centimeters or 8 centimeters, okay, any of these dimensions, if it is less, that means it is contracted pelvis. These dimensions are very important in females. Contracted pelvis means the antero-posterior diameter, आगे से पीछे, then